Hello everybody, this is Kiereek here, and this is part of the review and release series. It's my review for Dead Island. Now, what is Dead Island? It's a first-person zombie adventure game. The reason I call it zombie adventure is because it's not so much survival. You don't really work to survive, other than the fact that you're trying not to die. But there is no food, there's no drink, there's no shelter, no stats like that you need to worry about. It's literally just story, walk around, shoot things, beat things up. There's a skill tree involved. It breaks into 3 different skills. Usually one is focused on survival, one's on combat, and one's on your kind of rage power. Now, you usually get 4 characters to start off with, a 5th if you have the Red or White DLC, although that is its private DLC campaign. Now, each skill tree is, it's not too bad. It doesn't make that much of an effect on the game, but it is there, providing an RPG element. Like I said before, there's melee and shooting combat, so you have your pick, although shooting doesn't really take off until about halfway through. And there's a series of quests in a smaller open world style map. Basically, it's split into sections. There's the bungalow area, there's the jungle, there's the city, there's the prison, and all of your, on the laboratory as well, all of your quests will take place in those areas. They're not connected except through transition screens, like loading screens, but you can basically travel as you please. Now the enemies, this is part of my pros, they've actually posed a threat. It's not like other games where you're overpowered and you don't gotta worry about anything. This game, they will screw you up, man. They will fuck you up. They come at you and one-on-one, no problem. But if they come at you as a group, you better back up. You better back the hell up, because they will swarm you, they will beat your ass down. I liked it. There's even enemies that were pretty much one-shots, thinking of the Rams, and even the thugs. They did a lot of damage when they hit you, man. They did a lot. You had to basically respect their abilities. The combat's very fitting. It is kind of sluggish at first. I didn't really like that when I started, but it makes sense as you go on. Like if you swing a sledgehammer in real life, you're not swinging it like you'd swing around like a golf club, right? There's a different weight to them. And I feel like it did represent that pretty well. Nobody is a superhero in real life, and you're just a regular kind of person who happens to be immune to the virus. And I think it works well to increase the panic as well. If you were OP, you don't panic. You just kill everything in sight. When you feel like you're in danger, that's when you panic. That's how you create fear in the game. Now, there's lots of side quests. They'll keep you busy for quite a few hours. I think I logged about 23 in this game total. And that was doing pretty much every side quest, I think. Maybe just, other than some of those stupid, like, collect alcohol ones, because I didn't give a shit about the repeatable ones. But the single time side quests, I'd say about 23, 24 hours. And then another couple hours on the DLC. Lots keep you busy there. The voice acting's pretty alright. I thought most of them put a good job into their lines, and they sound believable. The only one that was really messed up was the Asian chick, the one that you can play as a character. I don't remember her name, but they gave her, for some reason, they gave her the most stereotypical accent ever. It was really cringe-worthy to even listen to that. Many of the side quests are good length. They're not just little things like this, but they are sometimes repetitive. If you go into them, it's like, okay, do this, go here, collect this, come back with it. Go here, kill this thing, come back with it. That's basically, it describes all the quests. That's one of those unfortunate things about open world games. That's kind of how they roll. The environment's really great. The bungalows, I thought they weren't too bad. It kind of provided a little kind of walking area with the driving areas. I like that. The city was my favorite by far. The tight corridors of the city were really neat because you could climb on the roofs, you could lure guys in, but you could also get trapped, and you could, around the corner, you never saw what was coming. It was kind of neat. The jungle was really the biggest letdown for me. Even the prison too, actually, because prison was very tight and it forced you into so many combat situations. I didn't enjoy that. But the jungle too, it didn't really fit. You could basically just drive around everything. I never really felt like it was, I don't know, felt like I was pressured by the zombies in that area. That brings me to my pros. Especially with that prison, you're forced into combat situations, and sometimes it's bullshit. Like I said before, if you get swarmed, you don't get a lot of opportunities other than back up or swing wildly. And in the prison especially, but also true in the city and sometimes in the bungalow areas, I felt mostly, they just came at you like crazy, and you're in tight little spaces. You got nowhere to go. What the fuck do you do in that? You're basically gonna get hurt. You're gonna take damage, especially from enemies that don't flinch, like the butchers, like the infected that run at you. They're gonna take at least a couple hits, even if you kick them. You know, if there's a couple of them there, one of them's gonna hit you because you can't kick them all. I felt that was kind of bullshit, and it meant that death was kind of unfair at times. It wasn't a huge issue, even though the death did feel unfair. It didn't really mean anything because when you die, all you do is lose a little money, percentage of what you totally have right now. And I was never short for money. Money is not really an object in this game. GPS was off sometimes. That kind of bugged me. There's a quest or two where it told me to go route A. I tried to go route A, and it turned out there's a whole bunch of rocks. So I found my own way there, and for some reason the GPS didn't even suggest that. It gives you a little dotted line to tell you where to go usually, but it kind of pisses me off when it's wrong. Now, the tech tree seemed a little useless to me. It didn't really have as much effect as I would have hoped. Usually just little percentage increases, like here you reload 10% faster, or you do 10% more melee damage. Well, I don't know, man. It didn't feel like I was getting anything out of it. Maybe it's because the enemies are increasing proportionally, but that means basically you'd have to spec into those things or be really underpowered, and that's not really right either. So for the gameplay, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 3. I thought the gameplay is very fitting, it's nice, and it's pretty smooth. It's just a little bit repetitive and a little bit bullshit sometimes. For the addiction, I give it a 1.5 out of 2. I was pretty addicted. I thought the story was good. It's not the most fleshed out story, but there's plenty to do it. You won't be bored, and there's plenty of quest lines you can follow. So it's a 1.5 out of 2 for me. Reliability, I never had any problems. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 1. Atmosphere, I thought it was really great. They did a great job with the zombies, making you feel afraid. They did a great job in the environments. They looked great. I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 2. The only reason it lost score was because sometimes it really breaks immersion. Just the odd thing that, I don't know, it became really gamey all of a sudden, or it seemed really stupid and bullshit, and I was angry, and it's like, well, I don't really feel like, I don't know, it didn't feel right at that point. So you lost a half point there. Replay value, I didn't see any. Yes, there's more characters to play as, but why would you? They all basically play the same, other than the rage power is a little different. But I mean, they all swing the knife the same, they all shoot a gun the same. So I didn't really see the point. I'm going to give it a 0.5 out of 2. Finally, for the total score, that means that's a 6.5 out of 10. Respectable, I think it is a good game. I'd recommend trying it out. I got it in a Humble Bundle back in 2013. I finally played it now, and it was definitely worth it. But it's not the greatest game. There's a lot of room for improvement. Even so, I'd say it's still worth checking out. So thanks for watching, guys. Check out my other videos. I've always got a review for other games up. I've always got a gameplay for this one up. And yeah, check them out. In the meantime, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.